When you're in the market for a full-size luxury SUV, there are quite a few vehicles to choose from, but the 2026 Lincoln Navigator offers quite a bit of value and some very cool technology. It is luxurious both inside and out. And starting with the front of this vehicle, you're going to notice this aluminum grille stands out. I really love what they've done. This is a black label Navigator, and you can get the lower trim levels, but the black label offers a drop-off and pickup service, as well as some additional services. Now, one of the things you're going to note is these adaptive headlights. They are LED. All the taillights in this vehicle, including the DRLs, are LEDs. You're going to get bright headlights, but when you turn a corner, they're going to turn with you, and that is true with the competitors as well, and we'll talk about that in just a second. You're going to notice a nice, smooth front grille, but this has active shutters, so when you're on the highway, you're going to get some really nice stability. Under the hood is a 440 horsepower twin turbocharged V6 engine backed by a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 miles to the gallon and a 0 to 60 time of 5.1 seconds. All Lincoln Navigators come all-wheel drive. Our test vehicle rides on 22-inch alloy wheels, and there is an optional 24-inch wheel as well. The side mirrors have light indicators. They're heated and they do fold automatically when the vehicle is locked. Navigator logo along the side of the vehicle, very classy and very clean. You will note that these doors are not self-closed, which I'm surprised, but there is retractable running boards, and that is very needed to get into a vehicle of this size. There is a gigantic panoramic glass roof as well as aluminum roof rails, and that is if you're deciding that there's not enough cargo in this vehicle, then you're carrying a lot of stuff. Inside the vehicle, you have a beautiful 48-inch curved panoramic display, which you can customize any way you want. You can make less information, more information. Flanking this 48-inch screen is two Revel speakers of the 28 3D audio speakers around this vehicle. The audio system is fabulous. If you're an audiophile, you will love it. A gigantic center speaker is here as well. Below this, you've got an 11-inch screen that has all the information you need that you would usually want. From your navigation, which you can move up to the top. There's a button that just slides all that information up. We're going to show you all that as we take it for a test drive. There's also Pro Trailer brakes that have a brake controller here as well. Towing capacity on this vehicle is 8,700 pounds, which is really nice. You have real leather materials, very nicely done, very nicely designed. The interiors of these cars are actually designed by interior designers. They work with car manufacturers to make these vehicles with just some really pretty styling. You'll notice that in all the competitors as well. There is a flat top and bottom to the steering wheel. That is polarizing. It doesn't bother me at all, as this is becoming a standard in a lot of these vehicles, so you can see the screens in front of you. I've driven a few vehicles recently where the steering wheel actually blocks the gauges in front of you because of the design. So Ford and Lincoln have come up with this flat top and bottom wheel. I'm totally fine with that. We'll show you all the controllers in that in just a second. In the center, you have this beautiful, gigantic center console. Start-stop button is here. Linear, which is push button. Shifter. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but that's getting to be the way things are these days. You've got behind these covers, you've got the chargers, tons of chargers, two cup holders, and they can all be covered very nicely. And again, a gigantic, super deep glove box. Quite a bit in this vehicle, and the interior materials are quite spectacular. The seating, well, of course, this is a luxury full-size SUV, so you have 30-way power, adjustable heated, vented, and massage seats on the driver's side, 28-way on the passenger side. I don't know what the two-way difference is, but when you sit in these seats, you'll find they're very comfortable, and Lincoln does offer one of the best massaging systems that you can get on the market. One thing I really like about the Lincoln Navigator and that the competitors don't offer is pedal adjustment. You can adjust the pedals as well as the steering wheel. Remember, everything's heated, everything's going to be luxurious, so you're not going to be missing those features. What you really need is the adjustability so that you feel comfortable driving the vehicle of this size. Heading into the second row, you've got heated, vented, and massaging second row seats. Not too shabby. You also have an entertainment system, which is around $2,000. That's additional. If you're doing a lot of road trips, great for keeping the kids occupied. You can connect your gaming systems or just watch what's going on the road. Each is separate, and wireless speakers come with this package. In addition to a wall outlet, especially if you've got a gaming station, you've got two cup holders which fold up inside from behind this center console. In the center console, you've got climate control as well as places for your phone, two cup holders, and another deep, gigantic glove box. The glass roof comes about 3/4 of the way back on the second row. Child safety latch systems, and this only comes captain's chairs on the black label, but if you want a bench seat, you'll have to get a lower trim level. Access to the third row is a button on the side of your second row seating. The seat folds and moves out of the way for easy access into the third row. The third row, like many of the competitors, has tons of room. Seating for 3, latch systems on the outboard seating, 2 cup holders, and of course there is power buttons and charge ports because this is where all your teenagers are going to want to be. One nice little feature is the third row does offer 2-stage heated seats. When you're looking at the side of this vehicle, you do have privacy glass for the second and third row, and across the back there's also privacy glass. One of the nice things Lincoln did is they tucked up that rear wiper blade. That's actually good for the maintenance. Not all the competitors offer that, but it does get damaged when going through car washes. Also, if you're using a snow brush or an ice scraper, it can damage the blade. Tucking it up underneath makes this really nice and clean across the back. You'll also see LED taillights that protect that Lincoln logo that's right behind there. Really nice and clean. And your trailer hitch is right behind this cover, keeping it nice and clean unless you need to tow something. There is a split rear tailgate, which is controversial. Some people love it, some people don't. The BMW offers a split tailgate as well. 23 cubic feet of storage with the regular length. If you go with the L, which is the longer version of this, you're gonna get more space all the way around. That's 37 cubic feet on the L. Fold down those second row seats, fold down the third row, and now you're at 70 cubic feet of storage, or 85 if you have the L. Then you fold down the second row seats and you're getting a maximum storage of 107 cubic feet on our test vehicle. If you go with the Navigator L, you're at 122 cubic feet of storage, which is quite a bit. By the way, the Lincoln Navigator is built in Kentucky. Inside this vehicle, before we take it for a test drive, this is a sanctuary. If you say, I just had a tough day, I need a break, you can go into this screen and go into the rejuvenation mode and it will relax you. It'll put out a beautiful scent, which you get to choose. You get to massaging seats, heated, vented, and it's freezing here in Buffalo. It's like 30 degrees, but it feels like sub-zero. I can warm up in here, whether it's the steering wheel, the seats. And by the way, Lincoln and Ford do make the best heated seats. They heat up like in seconds. So I can definitely attest to that. For your drive modes, you have your 2 high, your 4 automatic, your excite mode, which is essentially your sport mode, your conserve, and then if it's slippery, like here in Buffalo, you have a slippery mode. All the modes are here on this 11-inch screen. And that information is under the vehicle. Now you can also go to the home mode, which is going to be essentially what you're used to looking at. Navigation, which you can make full navigation. If you want all that information up here, there is a mode here that's below these different select modes. And you can say, I want the information up top. So I want my media up top. So I just drag it up here and the media now appears on the front screen. You can remove all of this as you wish. If you want the weather, I want it over here. The weather is now there instead of the time. The time is also can be added at any time. We can add the clock. So all that information can be changed as you wish. Again, everybody's going to want something different on their widgets across their display, and you can also have nothing. So all these choices are yours. All this information is a lot to take in. And if this is too much for you, like I said, just reduce it down to nothing. The left and right side of the steering wheel are blank. And the reason for that is as you put your finger here, you will see on the left side that you have all of your safety systems as well as your cruise control. And by the way, this vehicle has Blue Cruise, which is a direct competitor to Super Cruise, which is offered by General Motors products. In addition, Mercedes has something and other brands do as well. On the right side of the steering wheel, it's also blank, but when you put your finger there, this is going to be your adjustments for your audio. And if you push in this upper left corner, it'll allow you to adjust the mirrors and the pedals. I find this to be too much. I'd rather just make it easy. If you could just make it easier, not make me go through multiple steps to get what I want. Like example, into the car mode here on this 11-inch screen, I have to go through for driver memory. Why can't that be here next to the seat? It's just too much. I think it's just too many layers deep trying to get everything consolidated. I understand why they're doing that because they're trying to make it all electronic, but also I find it a little frustrating. That's me personally. I guess as you own the vehicle, you're not going to change the memory seat settings as well. This also has your phone as your key. So if you don't want to carry this key fob, which is really nice and not anything unusual, you could say, I'm just going to carry my phone, and all that information will be on your phone. It's through the app, and it makes things a lot easier, and certainly something that you might want to consider. There's way too much technology. Now, all the competitors have a lot of technology, whether you're talking about the Escalade or you're talking about a Range Rover, and we'll go through the full list in just a second after we're done taking this for a test drive. This vehicle is modern and it's luxurious, and it needs to make it a little bit easier access to some of the features. And don't think that it's just Lincoln. Every brand is doing this. They're putting so much on this and trying to consolidate that it makes it frustrating to the owner. So I highly suggest test driving all the competitors. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Our Car Smarts channel has reviewed them all. I've deactivated the start-stop button. It's one of those things that I find frustrating because you're only saving about a tablespoon of fuel in the big picture. Very quiet. Everything's relaxing. That's what Lincoln's all about. Relaxing. One nice thing that they've added is the blind spot camera on the left and the right side. You can see that they've tried to basically emulate what Genesis offers. Genesis is going to be offering a full-size 3-row SUV. That'll be coming out soon. We've seen some of the concepts. It's called a GV90. And again, everybody's coming into this full-size 3-row category. It's becoming a very important part of the lineup for many brands. The blind spot cameras are nice. I wish they were a touch bigger, or the ability for you to choose if you'd like them bigger or not at all. Personally, I think when you have a vehicle of this size, it is a nice feature. The competitors do not offer a blind spot camera, which I think is necessary. Overall visibility is fantastic in this vehicle. It's a high seating position. This flat top and bottom steering wheel really is a plus. The bottom is for those getting in and out. You're not going to hit your knees or your legs on the steering wheel. On the top, it's good for visibility. You can see this beautiful, gigantic screen, but also gives you better visibility for the roadway. A very smart move on the part of Lincoln, and a lot of the competitors will probably follow suit in the near future. One important thing, if this is not enough power for you, the only thing that's going to give you serious more power is going to be a Cadillac Escalade-V. It's going to have over 680 horsepower. It is a beast. We have driven it. I loved it, but it's a lot of power, and it also impacts your fuel economy and your insurance rates. Again, all the things that you need to calculate when you purchase a vehicle of this size, especially if you need a vehicle of this size. As far as safety, 5-star crash test ratings, as well as tons of safety that is all standard on this vehicle, which I think is a very nice plus. As far as driving this vehicle, it is really easy to drive, as you would expect. The size of it is something you have to get used to, especially if you're not used to driving a full-size SUV. If you're used to driving full-size SUVs, it's not even going to faze you. I drive a Porsche Cayenne every day, so for me, this is a much larger vehicle. I have owned Navigators in the past. This is the largest Navigator. It's amazing how they've gotten bigger and bigger. If you need more space, like I said, there is the Navigator L, and that probably won't fit into your garage. But if you need the cargo space and you need the people space, that is a wise choice, because not everybody's offering a larger vehicle, especially the Germans and the Europeans. They do not offer an extended length. And there are times here in the US where our marketplace requires, I've got a lot of kids, I got a lot of gear, or I'm hauling a lot of people, and that's why the Escalade's available in a long, as well as the Navigator. Brakes are nice and balanced. Steering is very confident. This, like I said, it's a large vehicle, so for parking in a parking lot, it's just something you just have to get used to. I do love the Rejuvenate package that's in this vehicle. It just takes away all the stresses, and I know this is something that Lincoln's always been about. All of our car news is on Car Coach Reports. And don't forget to check out our radio show, The Drive with Lauren and Carl. It's also available on YouTube and all podcast channels. It's The Drive Car Show on YouTube. Check it out. We have social media, and all of our information is listed down below in the description. Let's now go through my pros and cons, the price, and the competitor list. The warranty on the Lincoln Navigator is 4 years or 50,000 miles. The powertrain is 6 years or 70,000 miles, and complimentary maintenance for 4 years or 50,000 miles is included. If you purchase a black label, which is the top trim level, you will also get a maintenance plan, remote pickup and delivery, as well as anytime car washes and quite a bit more. Personally, I would only get a black label. Now, when you're talking about the price of this vehicle, it starts at $94,890 and goes up to $122,420. We do have a few options on our test vehicle, which includes those entertainment screens, which are really nice. That brought us to $127,185, including destination and delivery. There are some pros and cons when it comes to the Lincoln Navigator. That strong turbocharged V6 engine gives you really nice towing capability, impressive infotainment, extremely luxurious both inside and out, and I do like that rejuvenation program, and it's just very luxury, and it looks great as well. On the negative side, it is quite large, and you have to get used to parking it in a parking lot because of its size, and of course it may not fit into your garage, which could also be an issue. Some of the features are difficult to get to, such as adjusting the steering wheel. I mean, you're only going to adjust it once or twice, but going through all these systems, you have to learn this system so that you can feel very comfortable with it, which you will over time. The competitor list is not too long, but of course it's the Cadillac Escalade, the BMW X7, Land Rover, Range Rover, and the Mercedes-Benz GLS. Now, there's going to be other competitors coming into this category from Audi and BMW, as well as Porsche, and they claim those will be coming out in 2027. Overall, the 2026 Lincoln Navigator is luxurious, both inside and out. It's modern, it's got power, and if you need a large full-size SUV, this one should be on your test drive list. There's additional information down in the description, as well as on my social media. And if you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down below. Don't forget to check out our radio show and our other channels. I'm LaurenFix. Thanks so much for watching.